Right. Welcome into a One Take Podcast, episode 201. We said we were going to be giving you more reviews after episode 200, and then we lied.
We big lied.
Yeah.
Nothing has ever been more false.
Yeah, we lied bigly. The idea that we were going to be going to the movies and really eating it up and eating up the content and you know giving you what you crave on this podcast. Don't ever listen to us again.
Not true.
Yeah, football came around and we could not be bothered.
Football just started yesterday, for the record. Nothing else mattered. Yesterday was week 1. It's a new season.
Yeah, especially for the Baylor Bears and the Houston Texans. That's all.
Yep.
Don't look back at weeks 1 through 4.
I'm fine with this take, actually. Football actually hasn't started in Austin at all, so I totally understand.
Yeah, Jackson Dart, new era started yesterday. It's a new season.
Football doesn't start in Austin until you stand over the buried corpse of a Sam Houston football player.
Yeah, but see that we're not going to even count that. We're going to just say that the Longhorns are 0-0 going into a Florida team that apparently has been having a hard time, but I wouldn't know because football hasn't started yet.
Dude, the Fire Sark chants are going to be nasty when that awful offense comes in there and puts up 40 points.
That's not happening. My defense is still him. It's the offense I'm worried about. It's the offense that stinks.
But the reason we're coming to you for episode 201 after being off a month, again, we'll talk about what we're watching at the end of the thing. We have seen some movies. I think like Tej has seen Demon Slayer like 5 times.
I saw it once, but it fucking rocks. I'm sorry to report. I went in there ready to hate. It fucking rocks, bro. It's a lot of fun.
So the reason we're not talking about Demon Slayer. We're talking about one battle after another.
They do be battling.
The reoccurring battles, if you will. What were the other jokes? Too furious.
Two battles, too furious. So many battles.
On and on again we battle. So this is the latest film from Paul Thomas Anderson, the 10th film in his catalog, which is crazy because he's been working. It's like the Chad Michael Bay and like the virgin Paul Thomas Anderson. Like Paul Thomas Anderson is in kind of that camp, and granted, he makes way better films than some of his contemporaries, but he's in the camp of like Quentin Tarantino, where he makes one film every like 5 years, and all of a sudden he's only made 10. You know, for as esteemed as a director as he is, he's only made 10 feature films. But this is the latest one, starring none other than Leonardo DiCaprio, a man he's been trying to work with since Boogie Nights, I believe. So it's all coming full circle in what can only amount to, I don't know if it's his magnum opus, but it is one of the best films of the year. I'll just start there, and then we'll get into the synopsis and all of it. For those of you who don't know what this film is, and I'll tweet this out here in a second. But let's just start here. How we feeling? Do we feel good that movies are back? Did Paul Thomas Anderson save our lives?
No.
Oh!
No.
I gotta say, I really enjoyed this movie. However, I feel like we're gassing it a little bit. We're doing a little gassing.
Okay.
No, we're not.
I've heard that this is movie of the year. I've heard that this is one of the best, if not the best, action movie of the decade. I've heard that this proves that PTA is the best American director. I'm talking to you specifically, Garrett. But I'm just not there, man. Like I like it a lot. It's really, really good. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to give it an A when we get into our reviews. But I'm like, let's slow down, guys.
Who could have seen this coming?
Let's slow down, everybody.
It's not the best movie of the year, but
hashtag Center's better.
It is an achievement. I think it's phenomenal. I think it's fucking incredibly impressive. I love PTA. It's still not my favorite PTA movie, so I wouldn't call it his magnum opus. But I think him having this moment of celebration and this big kind of blockbuster moment. Like my favorite PTA movie is Boogie Nights. Like Boogie Nights is by no means a blockbuster. Like it's just not that kind of movie.
It was an unintentional one, I think.
There's you get a huge boner at the end with you get to see a huge dong at the end, but that climax of that movie is very different than the climax of this movie. But just seeing PTA kind of have this moment and kind of get his flowers, I've really loved that and appreciated that because PTA doesn't make movies that are generally like accessible to anyone but the movie bros. Sometimes it feels that way. I think There Will Be Blood is a bit of a difference in that. It seems like everybody has seen There Will Be Blood, but not everybody has seen Magnolia. God forbid, Magnolia is one of the weirdest, craziest movies ever. It's great, but it's fucking weird and crazy, and you wouldn't just recommend Magnolia to anyone. So
Started watching it last night at like 2 a.m.
it bangs, but it's weird. Some of the best Tom Cruise work we've ever seen, though. But this movie is such a this is like a crowd pleasing movie. This is probably what Licorice Pizza was to people that are pedophiles. Like if you, like Licorice Pizza is one of those movies that kind of had pop appeal, but you couldn't go over the fact that it was literally some creepo shit. This is the movie that can appeal to a very, very big amount of people, and the way that it tells the story, it's a bit more traditional than some of the other PTA films, and it's just what an incredible moment that we're in. Thank you, PTA, for giving us this movie.
So let's talk about. Go ahead, Dex.
I was gonna say I feel like this is one of those situations where me like not being particularly in love with any individual director for the most part, not being part of a director hive, is kind of taking me out of some of the film Twitter narrative a little bit, because it feels like a lot of people who have been PTA fans for a long, long time are like, this is it. This is the moment. This is our this is our lemonade. You know what I'm saying? That moment where Beyonce like finally took over and was like, something different than the other pop girls. This feels like PTA's lemonade, and I'm just not in the hype, so I don't really have the same connection to it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we'll get into it a little bit more here in just 2 seconds. But first, we're going to do what we always do, and we're going to read the synopsis of what really, we'll talk about this some more, what really is one of the true, I don't even know how to put this, radical, I think, mainstream movies that have come out in, I don't know, 25 years. Maybe more than that, like mainstream movies. The first 40 minutes of this movie are like politically charged in a way that I don't think that we've seen. But we'll talk about it. When their evil enemy resurfaces after 16 years, a group of ex-revolutionaries reunites to rescue one of their own's daughter. Written and directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, based on a Thomas Pynchon book, which it's like the last couple of movies that he's made. I mean, Inherent Vice was based off of that as well. Stars just everyone in Hollywood. Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn in a movie, actually doing, what he's most historically known for, actually acting and not interviewing El Chapo. Benicio del Toro, Regina Hall, Wood Harris, Tiana Taylor, Alana Haim, and what is
Chase
Infinity?
Chase Infinity.
How
Sorry.
could you forget?
Yeah, get ready to
Greatest
know the
name of all time.
That's remember the name.
Well, IMDb is so weird because it's like it just puts them out of order, which is put the stars of the movie at the front of the movie. That'd be great. Thank you. So anyway, Chase Infinity in here as well. And then like what Paul Thomas Anderson is known to do is he just like straight up just takes non-actors and puts them in critical roles in this movie. And so it's really cool. It was tracking to make, right now it has an 8.5 on IMDb, a 96 Metascore. People seem to love it. Somehow I don't think that the Republicans have found this one yet, but it'll be interesting to see when they do. $130 million budget. It was obviously the most the highest budget that anybody has ever given Paul Thomas Anderson for one of his films. A Warner Brothers distribution, who, listening to The Big Pick, I was sitting there and it was like, we kind of just, for all we have shit on Warner Brothers over the past couple of years, rightfully so, with one, how they've handled all of their DC properties, how they handled the rollout of HBO Max,
everything David Zaslav ever said or thought.
Yeah, the canceling of projects and just taking them like out of the consciousness and not releasing projects, and like taking Westworld and just like taking it off streaming and several of those things. They have quietly had one of the best years in movies in like this decade.
Yeah.
So credit to them, and also credit to them. I hate to say this, you do have to hand it to them that they have actually done a good job here. But it was tracking to make around initially like $25 to $30 million. I think it's going to cross $50 million opening weekend.
Yeah, I think it was like 48 something.
Yeah, it was at like 48.
Yeah, so I think it's going to cross 50 opening weekend, and that $50 million opening weekend is good for anyone, let alone it's someone who's never had a budget quite this big. And with the word of mouth that's happening, people are making this entire film they're making this film their entire online personality.
Thanks.
It's literally happening in real time in front of us. So that means that they're going to do big business, and people are going to go back multiple times. Dex has already gone back. I'm going back, I think, tomorrow. This is definitely the kind of movie that people who see it are going to see it over and over again. I think he's going to make a lot of money on this film.
But you, let me ask you this, T. Do you have the act? Well, I guess both of you do. But I mean, in Houston, I mean, the premium formats are like spread out so far, it's weird. But in LA, you can go to VistaVision, which it's out of the way. But like, do you have multiple IMAXs? I don't have that. Is this something that you will like try to go get to in that format?
Yeah, I was supposed to go see it in 70 millimeter IMAX the first time, but I couldn't get in there because the tickets were booked out, and I probably looked about a week before. And this is a PTA movie, so I'm like, okay, it's getting like rave reviews, but only the film nerds are going to be there like night one, night two. I was very wrong about that. I think Thursday through Tuesday were all booked up in my favorite theater, so I ended up seeing it in just regular format. But I'm going to the Vista this week to see the VistaVision. So this is definitely one of the movies where I think it's going to reward those kind of premium formats, because on my regular ass screen, I was just blown away, especially in the third act, which we'll get to. That stuff, I just cannot wait to see that in a premium format, just because I just think that one of the many, many amazing things about this movie is the camera work is insane. There are some insanely good shots, some real film boy shots in this movie, and I just cannot wait to see them in the biggest format possible.
Shooting something in VistaVision for like, I love how we're trying to bring back this dead technology, but it's like there's like 10 movie screens that can show VistaVision across the country. So it's like sick. I'm glad that those people can experience that.
Of the 2 VistaVision movies that I've seen, this is definitely the better one. Sorry, Brutalist.
96% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, 85% audience score. An epic screwball adventure teeming with awe-inspiring action set pieces. One battle after another is Paul Thomas Anderson's most entertaining film yet, while also one of its most thematically rich. That's a critics' consensus. Dex, why you said you're going to give it an A. Why do we need to tamp down our expectations of this movie?
Honestly, like I don't know if other people do. I just didn't. It didn't hit me in the like, this is one of the best movies I've ever seen place.
It's actually the opposite, and let me tell you why, friend.
I don't know why. Like, it just didn't hit me in that place of like, this is one of the best movies I've ever seen. Like, I didn't feel that way watching it. I didn't have the Oppenheimer feeling where I got to the end of it and I said out loud, like, I love movies, like it just didn't do that for me. But I do still think it's great. I think obviously the cast is all incredible. Leo does his thing as per usual. Regina Hall, even though she has pretty limited screen time, is doing her thing as usual. Chase Infinity was a revelation in this. I had never heard of her before I started seeing TikToks about this movie, but she crushed it, obviously. Tiana Taylor also doesn't have a ton of screen time, but in her limited screen time, like, can't take her eyes off her. But yeah, it just never really hit me in that place of like, this is one of the best movies ever. It meanders a little bit, it takes its time setting up what's actually about to happen, setting up like what the plot of the movie is. It takes you like an hour before you even know like what the like driving force of the plot is supposed to be. So yeah, it just like kind of meanders a little bit and doesn't ever really like, I won't say it doesn't ever really, but it like takes a long time for me to be like, okay, I'm locked in. I know who the players are. I know what's happening and why. I'm here. I'm ready. Like, I'm following along with like what we're supposed to be doing and why, and I care, so that's probably like the place that knocks it down a little bit for me. If this was like a tight like 215, then I'm probably like, this is one of the best movies ever. But as is, I'm like, all right, we're doing a lot of setup. We're, putting a lot of pieces in place. It's taking a long time to get there. And then it also ends pretty cleanly to be like one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Does it?
It ends very
pretty,
cleanly. I have to.
It ends pretty clean. All the people that, not to spoil, but the bad guys get what's coming to them, and the good guys are all right. Like, which like to be one of the best movies of all time, like we can't have both of those things be true. If we're gonna meander a bit, then we got to have some ending that leaves you like, and it just wasn't there for me. So that's where it wins at an A and not an A plus, but still a great movie. Still think people should go see it for sure.
I think Dexter's crazy. This is an A plus. This is the easiest A plus that you can reward. I first of all, just from a personal perspective, seeing all these black people carry a PTA movie is for me is just a dream come true. PTA's movies are extremely white. Like that's just the kind of movies that he makes. They're literally, I don't think, as a black person and Phantom Thread. Like if there is, I did not see them. And I've seen Phantom Thread I think 3 times. There's not a lot of black people in these.
That
films.
is the one that I'm gonna have to take your word for it because that looked like a 4. Let me tell
It's
you,
good. No, it's good. It's good. I'd much rather sit down and watch Phantom Thread again than watch Punch Drunk Love again for the second time. I don't like Punch Drunk Love at all.
Okay.
Not really. No, this. First of all, the first 40 to 50 minutes of this movie is not a Leonardo DiCaprio movie. It is a Tiana Taylor movie. That is
I was going to make the same
so
point.
fascinating, man. That is so fascinating to me. She has been in one film before, which apparently her performance is very, very good in that film. I actually now am going to make sure I go watch that film because I thought that she was mind-blowing. I thought that she was incredible, and it's like it is easy to see that PTA thinks that she's sexy as hell, and the movie thinks that she's sexy as hell, and Leo thinks that she's sexy as hell, and everyone thinks that she's sexy as hell. And the way that that's kind of like the driving force of the first like 10 to 15 minutes of this movie is kind of insane.
Who among us has not started a political battle,
for
a riot over Tiana Taylor? Like whomst among us,
Also,
you
I
really
gotta
look
say,
at Sean Penn's
she's been
character
in a
like
lot
that.
of movies, just none worth caring about.
Oh God, okay.
She was in that awful White Men Can't Jump remake, which I had completely
I stayed far away from that. I stayed very far away from that.
She was in. I mean, she's in the most important thing of all time, that Kanye West video. But like, we don't have to really talk about it.
Yeah, that's better than most movies that have ever existed. But we won't talk about Kanye West.
Yeah.
She is just. I just think she's breathtaking. And when I watch this movie, I'm like, am I in a world where like we are decentering Leonardo DiCaprio so we can get Tiana Taylor? Obviously, the way that the story like goes, you realize why that happens is because she's not like on screen past a certain point. So like it becomes a Leo and Chase Infinity movie. I've already talked about the shots. What really stuck out to me about this movie was the score. We got some amazing needle drops, which you get in every PTA movie. But unlike, say, Boogie Nights, which doesn't have a score because literally everything is a music cue, a needle drop, this has a score, and it's like propulsive, and it's kind of like they take one note on the piano, they just keep playing it, and it makes everything feel so tense. I just completely fell in love with the score of this movie. I could not get enough of it. I've been listening to it for the last 3 days because I cannot get enough of just how amazing the score is. The cinematography is great. All the performances are great. I have seen Chase Infinity before. She was in Presumed Innocent, but she didn't really have a lot to do, even though she's like actually the resolve.
In fact, that character sucks in the very end. Actually,
it's terrible. Like it's nothing wrong with her performance of it. It's like an annoying character that's kind of off to the side, and then you realize at the end the reason is they didn't really give her anything to do is because like the big reveal of that
she's
show,
the smoking gun,
is that she's the smoking gun. So we really didn't put her in the center of the screen. Man, this is a very talented woman. She's got to go against some real heavyweights. And even early on in the movie, before she actually is going head on with those guys, when she's just doing karate and being a kid, I was completely drawn into her performance immediately. I was just like, with this, okay, this is our teenage daughter. I fucked with this vision. I already fucked with this actress. I just thought that she did an incredible job. And that final scene has so much emotional stakes. And she's really got to, if she is bad in that scene, it just doesn't work. Or the previous scene where she escapes captivity, if she's bad in that scene, those scenes quite literally just don't work. And part of this is, I'm sure she would agree, a credit to what PTA does and brings out of actors and actresses, which has always been kind of his superpower. But man, I just thought that she was pitch perfect and incredible throughout the movie. I think Leo was great. I don't think this is. Some people are saying this is their best Leo performance they've ever seen. I don't agree with that, and not because he's not great.
I don't know,
but
about
I don't
that.
like Leo is great, but I don't think. I think this movie is up there because of everyone is bringing it. What Del Toro is bringing to this movie is just amazing. What Regina King is bringing to this movie, what Regina Hall is bringing to this movie is just completely. Her facial expression work is insanely good, and she's like the emotional linchpin of the movie for a good 45 minutes of it there, where she is in the little girl is in the care of her. I just think that the performances are amazing. The story is very cool. The whole middle of this movie, kind of in that second act where you meet Benicio del Toro's character and you realize who he is and what he means to the community, is just some of the coolest shit you were going to see on screen this year. That whole sequence is so fast-paced. It's so choppy. The score's going crazy. You're just bouncing from room to room to room to room, meeting people, meeting this person, and just crazy shit is happening. That stuff is I think this is probably his best made movie. It is not my favorite, although it could easily become that. I probably got it at number 3 right now, behind Boogie Nights and There Will Be Blood. I will not be surprised if you ask me in a couple years and I say this movie's above There Will Be Blood. I also love There Will Be Blood. I'm not trying to shit on that, but this is my shit. I am the target audience for something like this. So I gave it an A+. The only gripe that I did have, and it's not really a gripe, is that it ended extremely cleanly. And you don't really get that from PTA movies. In fact, a lot of times the endings are crushing and they hurt. This is quite the opposite. And I was happy for it because I was just ready for something tragic to happen kind of the whole time. And I think I was holding that tension so much in that final scene, the final action set piece, which is one of the coolest things that you'll see all year. I just love the way that was shot. I love the cool idea. But I knew what was going to, as soon as he showed the hills, I was like, I know how we're going to resolve this now. And I just think that's such a cool way to use the camera to tell the story. I don't quite know how the three of them got on the same road after the events that kind of took them away from, they just end up kind of on the same road. It's she's out there. I'm chasing her. Oh, I'm chasing them. And I was like, okay, but how did that happen? But I didn't care. I literally didn't care because once I realized they're all three on the same road, I was like, oh, this is a fucking perfect way to end this film.
Sick.
God, it almost made me sick.
You feel like you're in the car. You really feel like you're in the car. Sorry, that's easily an A+ for me. A very easy A+ for me. God bless Paul Thomas Anderson, and I'm glad that this movie exists. Thank you, Warner Brothers. I'm ready to bow down to our Warner Brother overlords. I will never slander them again for this year they've given us in cinema.
Plus, you're eating up Peacemaker too.
I fucking love Peacemaker, but don't even get me started.
I haven't even tapped in, and I love that first season. But so it's obvious that Paul Thomas Anderson, going back through Magnolia, and again, I'm only halfway through it because I started at 2 a.m. and realized, holy shit, this movie is 3.5 hours long. It's so long. But going back through There Will Be Blood, Boogie Nights to an extent, but not really. It's obvious that Paul Thomas Anderson is obsessed with the sins of our father. He's obsessed with that notion of what the previous generation has done to either advance or to hinder the generation that comes after it. And now he's even more obsessed. It was an issue, and obviously in There Will Be Blood, I think more so than a lot of other films, but it is obvious that in this film it's just self-referential throughout. Leonardo DiCaprio has a black daughter. Paul Thomas Anderson is the father to 3 black daughters. He's married to Maya Rudolph for a long time now. One of the
which I didn't realize before I saw the movie.
So he's the father to, I believe, 3 teenage daughters. It's very looking inward in that way, and in a movie that I don't believe he's done in not necessarily like he always kind of self inserts in all of his movies, like these big man baby boy childs that are like that are present in all of his movies. You know, stunted growth of men are always present in his movies. I mean, look no further than The Master to say that, which is a tough watch, but it's interesting to have Leo DiCaprio play that in one of these roles as well too, because he's gotten so many other A-list people to play those parts, but to see the A-list guy play that part is really cool as well. This is kind of a it's not the same character that DiCaprio has been playing, but there's a lot of Rick Dalton in this.
Yeah, for sure.
There absolutely is.
I saw other people make this point too. He's become like the big dumb idiot.
Yeah, he's really interested in like these like I said, these man baby boy child people like that just like are really interested in drinking or getting high and wasting their life away and then can't get out of their own way. And DiCaprio is like really interested in playing that guy, and he's sort of taken from the early 2000s where he was playing like something like Revolutionary Road, like these really self-serious character pieces, these really like in-depth, like hardcore narrative driven, you know, character dramas, to sort of these like he's moved into this sort of dad comedy thing that he's like doing.
Yeah, he's also moved into like he likes playing like the once great like guy who fell off and like now is like just fucking around drinking his life away, which like, you know, like I kind of get.
I mean, he's moving into his 50s. He's by all accounts, he's not in a long-term relationship, hasn't ever really been in a long-term relationship, doesn't have any children. Like it's funny that he's finding these characters that are like, it's not selfish.
I used to be the best, man.
I used to be the best, but like not in the Tom Cruise way where he's still the best, you know, then we just have to bring him back to be the best. No, it's like he was the best and it is taking a hard fall off of a cliff. And it's funny that he's doing that when he's still probably the most recognizable movie star in the world by any measure, right? Like,
yeah, I feel like if you were to ask somebody like name a movie star, they're like Leonardo DiCaprio, like, you know.
Yeah, he's still like that guy. Like, he's still that guy. Like you could have put him in the Brad Pitt role probably in F1, and it's the same thing. But he's not interested in doing that.
Yeah, he's not interested like that. You know, I listened to an interview with PTA and Leo, and they were basically saying the first version of the script or the first iteration of the script had like Leo's character being more heroic, like actually doing heroic things, as opposed to the real heroic thing he's doing in this movie is just like showing up for his daughter. But other than that, he's kind of bumbling around, and kind of everybody around him is helping him. The people, I
don't know the fucking codes, man.
Like he doesn't know the code. He's like helped out at every stop by kind of like these people. You have the people that are at the doctor who basically like get him out so he's not like arrested. Like there's all these people along the way that are helping him. Regina Hall is really like making sure his daughter is alive through like the second act of the movie. So there's always other people that are actually doing all the work. Even at the end of the day, like to not spoil it yet, but basically he doesn't take the final action on any of the two big bads that we get at the end of our movie. He's not the one who actually gets rid of them and ends the threat. That's not really like he doesn't do that to either of them. So he's kind of like not doing the quote unquote like heroic thing where there's a big standoff at the end and he gets to shoot the bad guy. It's like the first original script was more like that, and they were just like it didn't feel right. It felt like, you know, and I feel like that's coming from both PTA and Leo, because Leo wants to play these guys that are just kind of like washed out. I'm a has-been, but I have a heart of gold. Those are the characters that he's playing right now, and it plays like he can be funny, he can be dramatic, and that's just for whatever it is. That's kind of like the place that he is in his career. He wants to play those characters, and I don't hate it. I kind of like it actually. I'm kind of into it.
Yeah, he's like his hero's Robert De Niro. He's moved into the Robert De Niro in
Analyze This.
What's the buddy cop, or not buddy cop movie, but the buddy movie that they have referenced several times. Midnight Run. Like
Oh.
he's sort of moved into the Robert De Niro Midnight Run phase of his career, and it's just plain to see that that's what he's doing. And obviously that was a reference point for this movie, especially the him and Del Toro parts of this movie were just like this buddy dynamic movie. It's almost like 3 separate movies, because the first 40 minutes of this movie, like I said, are some of the most like radical political statements in a mainstream movie that we've gotten in forever.
Easily.
And like the first 40 minutes have more in common with like How to Blow Up a Pipeline, which was a movie that not a lot of people saw, but it came out on Hulu. Initially, but it came out on Hulu, and then people sort of found it that way. And that was a really politically charged, like throughout movie. The first 40 minutes of this are this, and then it moves into this sort of bumbling idiot trying to find his daughter movie, this sort of buddy duo movie with him and Del Toro. And but the first 40 minutes, like you said, Teach, are just Tiana Taylor doing an Antifa. Like it's like that sort of thing and it's really harrowing, the first 40 minutes of this movie. And then it just grips you with the Leo performance afterwards. It's a really interesting turn where, like you said, it's not his movie in the first 40 minutes. And if you go into it watching, you're like, what is this? Like, where are we going with this?
Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at. That's what takes me from an A+ to an A. It's just like, it feels like 3 separate movies, and I don't like all of them equally. You know, I definitely like Act 1 and Act 3 way more than Act 2.
See, you know, and I think it's an A+. The more I think about it, I think I gave it 4.5 stars on Letterboxd, but the more I think about it, Tej, like you said, I think this is his most well-crafted movie. What he's doing with the camera, the shots on the road, the shots of them running over the rooftops while like basically like down there, it's Northern California, Backton Cross, but like downtown Portland burns in the background, and like just all this, Leo falling off a rooftop from like 40 feet.
That was so funny.
It's unbelievable. And like, I was shut, and like, I wasn't in a packed theater, and I was laughing hysterically to myself. And like, I couldn't believe that nobody else was laughing. Like the 10 people that like, no, I don't think enough people knew that it was supposed to be like,
yeah, I
like
think
Three
that did miss
Stooges?
a lot of people. Like, a lot of people that weren't laughing at my theater, but I was like, guys, this is fucking hilarious.
My theater was laughing a lot, especially when you see that scene where he's kind of out there with those young kids, and they look so impressive when they're doing jumps and hopping off of shit, and they're just like effortless. And then Leo gets to it, he's just like struggling,
falls off the roof.
He's like climbing down the ladder, and like
that was so good.
They got your boy. He fell
off the roof. Yeah, he fell like 40 feet.
But yeah, for me, I think like the Tiana Taylor stuff and like kind of what that's getting at about like, you know, being a revolutionary and being a mother and like, you know, wanting to, you know, have like kind of equal time with your daughter when your daughter is taking more to her dad and stuff like that. That stuff is like so interesting to me. And then we just kind of don't talk about it again for like an hour and a half. And then Chase Infinity comes on the screen and it's like really, really cool again. But I wish we could have gotten more of like that, like the motherhood part of it throughout the movie.
I think though, I would argue that it really starts to hone in on like they said, the sins of our father, the sins of our mothers sort of thing. Like, yeah, you said the middle part of the movie does, but when she comes on screen, it starts to do that. And I think he, maybe it could have been more focused, but I do think he really tries to hammer home like, hey, we didn't get it done. You know, whatever it is that we were trying to do, we didn't get it done. Now it's up to y'all or whatever it is that you're going to do. But he sprinkles it in with like, he is now like Paul Thomas Anderson, I guess now feels like, oh, I'm a dumb dad, even though he's like one of the best creative filmmakers in the game. He still is like the dad to 3 teenage daughters who probably could not give a damn that he is Paul Thomas Anderson. You know what I mean?
Ruby Blood fucking sucks, actually.
Yeah,
Dad.
exactly. Dad, like, yeah, why don't you go make Magnolia again or whatever? Like, I think that it is.
We want to go see Wuthering Heights.
Yeah, exactly. So
when are you gonna work with Margot Robbie?
yeah, exactly. So I think that that stuff to me you know, none of us have kids. This couldn't be a more childless podcast, but like I think that it is cool to see him put in there. Now I don't know what it says, what he thinks about Maya Rudolph in that way, and maybe I don't want to analyze that as much, but that's also an interesting conversation as well. But no, I think that some of the best car chase sequences in a movie that I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, that ruled.
The action, it's not like the best action movie of it. It's not John Wick. It is not.
John Wick 4 happened, guys. You don't say stuff like that.
I saw Mission Impossible Fallout, friends. Like I
Yeah.
saw Tom Cruise jump out of a fucking plane.
Yeah.
And then fly a plane.
There's a Tom Cruise bit in this as well too, which is just so good. But
Benicio del Toro is so fucking good in this.
Yeah.
Like, I know
he's amazing at everything.
Everybody's
somebody pointed out
talking about Sean Penn, but like Benicio del Toro,
he's my favorite part of the he's my favorite part of the movie. But somebody pointed out, I believe it was like Chris Ryan or something on the Big Pick, was like talking about how in this movie where they're still like they're running from a militarized police force with armed to the teeth, and it takes like 25 minutes. Paul Thomas Anderson is like not worried about ushering, he ushers them from point A to point B to point C, but it takes its time doing it. And he like lingers, and like Leonardo DiCaprio is trying to like charge his cell phone the entire time, and it takes its time to do that. And every time Benicio del Toro comes in, he's like ocean waves. We have to be like, that's like kind of the whole thesis of the middle part of the movie, is like, take your time a little bit, even while DiCaprio is losing his mind. Yeah. And I just found I found that to be very interesting, that he like really takes his time to get him out of where he is.
Yeah, the Latino Harriet Tubman thing was great the entire time.
Right.
I was like, this is so fucking cool, actually. Yeah. I haven't read the book. I don't know if either of y'all are like super familiar with the book, or like what's the same and what's not from the book to the movie, but
I think it changed a lot. But I think it's about revolutionaries who have are coming to grips with like, it's called Vineland. I think it's about revolutionaries in the 60s who are sort of coming to grips in their older age with like how they failed to accomplish their mission. And I think that's kind of what he took from it. The whole, rescuing their daughter subplot, I'm not sure if that's in it at all, but yeah. Tej, you're the aficionado of PTA. Have you seen, I imagine you haven't seen like Hard 8, right?
I have not seen Hard 8.
Yeah.
I have unfortunately seen Licorice Pizza, but I have not seen Hard 8.
But how does this compare? Like, you touched on it a little bit, but like, it's also his most contemporary movie. I mean, Magnolia is technically contemporary for when it was made, but it's in a different way. But this is like 2025. How do you feel like this compares to his other body of work?
I think it compares favorably to it. I do think it's his most contemporary work. It's definitely his most radical work, and it's also his most personal. I really hate when we say that it's the director's most personal movie, but it's clearly his most personal movie. Like, there's a little scene where Leonardo DiCaprio was talking about the fact that he can't do his daughter's hair because her black mother is absent, and that is a story that came directly, apparently, from Maya Rudolph, who very publicly lost her mother at a very early age. So like, this is a very, very personal movie. Obviously, the dad-daughter stuff, and obviously the fact that his daughter is dealing with racial politics that are different because she has a white dad and a black mom. Obviously, this movie is clearly his most personal movie, although obviously there are pieces of him in all of the movies. I think it stacks up right up there with it. If anything, you just kind of see him flexing his muscles in a different way. The thing that really just gets me is the score, because I watched Boogie Nights last night, and Boogie Nights is an incredible film, but you can tell like he's just at a different place in his life, but also in his skills.
Well, he's like 27 and on cocaine when he makes.
Yeah, he's like coked out, like living life, and now he's making like dadcore movies, and so
Yeah.
you see that growth. It's also his first movie that's like contemporary. Like he doesn't really make contemporary movies in terms of like a movie about our times. And there probably will not be another movie for the next 5 years that feels more about our times than this movie, just because of some of the things that are addressed in the thing and some of the things that we are dealing with like day to day, like not just like, oh, these are problems of our times, but like literally you open your phone right now, you're going to see similar images to what you see on the screen in terms of what's happening to immigrants in this country. So
And there's people in detention camps all throughout this movie. Like
literally, one of the first scenes is at a detention camp, and then like you have to live under a rock for that not to hit you in a certain way. It'd be like, wow, this feels very current. Whereas most of his movies are again they're not in our times. They're not current. So having him make a movie, because a lot of people thought he would never make a movie of our times because he didn't want to deal with phones. Even the way he deals with phones in this movie are kind of like in a way we can tell he doesn't actually want to deal with phones. Like he doesn't like.
You have to have a 1G phone.
Dealing with phones. Yeah, like we kind of still aren't dealing with phones. Although I will say, Leo plugging his phone into like 7 different chargers during that this scene, it's just so funny, man. That's just such a funny thing. He's just what a chaotic scene.
Del Toro yells at that kid to get off his phone. And he's like, "I'm not on my phone. Trying to charge my phone, man." And there's also like he deals with phones in a way where there's still we live in a world where there's still like multiple pay phones around everywhere.
Yeah.
So like that's kind of interesting. I had a point that I wanted to make about the contemporariness of this movie. But I wanted to touch on the Sean Penn of it all. Sean Penn has been like in the wilderness for like 10 years, to say the least. This was a guy that was like, people were like, this is Marlon Brando, like people love the work of Sean Penn, especially actors love the work of Sean Penn. Like most people are like, it starts with like Fast Times at Ridgemont High, obviously, way back in the 80s, but like people really appreciate his body of work. Now the man himself, I don't know, but like it like his body, Mystic River, just go on and on and on and on. Milk. He's won several Oscars. He's just been like in kind of middling indie films and like direct to DVD shoot 'em up movies. And then, like I said, interviewing like El Chapo and doing some really crazy shit. And this is his most front-facing movie, like I said, I think in like 10 years. And he's in like 90% of this movie. And he's probably going to get nominated for an Oscar. I don't know. I just wanted to pick y'all's brains on what y'all thought of this, of Sean Penn.
I thought he was great. I thought he was really like, this is a very clearly hateable character, very reprehensible character, and I just thought he does a great job with it. Her asking him why his shirt was so tight is just insanely funny. Getting cooked by a young kid, even when she was on the point of realizing that. Well, I won't spoil anything yet, but basically the way that they use him and the way that he, like, if that part doesn't work, like the movie's just very different. It's a very different movie if you cast someone else in that role, and I think he completely fucking crushes it. He's got such a good evil white man energy with the, what do they call it? The Christmas Adventurers Club.
Yeah.
And his bit at the end of the movie, which I won't talk about yet, is the legitimate funniest thing I've seen in the movie theater this year. I doubled over laughing during that final scene with him. The whole thing is just pitch perfect comedy. It is so funny, and that is the Sean Penn of it, right? He could be the evil, horrible person, but also like you've got to have comedic timing for that scene to where you're playing it straight. But everybody, my theater was raucous at that last scene with him. It's just I just thought he was incredible. He was funny. He was scary as hell, and he was a complete douchebag.
Which scene are you referring to?
When he comes back around to be readmitted now, or to be admitted now that he's trying to clear up everything that happened throughout the movie, and he's kind of having that conversation with them, and
Oh,
going into
right,
what
right,
happens to him after. That whole scene is just
Okay,
fucking hilarious.
Now, it's coming.
We
back to
can
me.
we can
Yeah.
spoil it. I was raped in reverse, and he was like,
Okay.
he's like,
said, I think she
"What?"
was a sperm thief. He said,
A
what?
semen
He said,
demon.
A semen demon.
her witchcraft was unknown to me at the time, or whatever he said.
He said
She saw my mind.
She saw power, and she wanted it for themselves. That is PTA. PTA has gross sex stuff. Like this movie, in the first 5 minutes of this movie, she is going through this raid to free all these people that are trapped in this migrant camp, and she fucking sees him and she makes him get his dick hard. Like that is PTA.
That is
he's
the
gross,
PTA
nasty,
humiliation king thing.
He's a man child and he's fucking gross. But I know when he wrote semen demon in the script and went to bed that night, I know he smiled to himself and said, "Yeah, that
felt good coming off the hand." Yeah, that felt good coming off the hand for sure. He was like, "I'm gonna kill him with this one," and he was right.
It's just all green in 2K. He was just like, no, so,
looked away from it like Steph.
Yeah,
running back down the court.
Semen demon, man.
Going to bed with Maya Rudolph being like, "You'll never guess what I just wrote." No, I found it. I found him to be that whole. It's quintessential PTA. That whole like white supremacist. Like it had a lot in common with. And Dex, you may scoff, but like with Eddington in that way. That whole like.
I won't scoff at all. I definitely got big Eddington vibes from this movie.
Secret cabal that's
Very
running that's running everything sort of thing, and it taps into, I think, in a way that I think that a lot of people think that the world works now. That there is a secret cabal of like globalist actors that sort of, the water's turning, the frogs gay sort of thing. And like, I think that's what people, how people kind of think the world works. And he just puts that front facing and center in this movie. And it's all.
I had to look up his actual name because I always just called him Fitz for forever. But Tony Goldwyn.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know he was in it.
Shitheel. Yeah,
I didn't know he was in it until like he showed up, and I was like, "Oh shit, it's Fitz!" And then Fitz got real weird with it.
Yeah, as he's known to do,
awesome.
just playing a white dirtbag in multiple movies. He's really good at it.
Have you ever had a loan or debt go into default?
I had a jet ski that I did not that did not work, and I did not make payment. And like whole Sean Penn thing of like make me a reason to invade this town bit. Yikes, like
feels real.
Feels real.
That's one of those things that's just lucky. Like obviously he's thinking about the problems of our times, but for that to happen in this timing where Trump is quite literally day to day just alerting us to where he's going to send people into, like that scene where he's literally like, okay, we got to go find these people. Okay, that bakery's got to go. That we got to invade that bakery. We got to invade this, that, and then they have a conversation. He's like, yeah, there's going to be a shortage on. What was it?
Chicken.
Whatever the guy. Yeah, he's like, there's gonna be a chicken nugget shortage. Like we're invading.
He's like, I do like their chicken though.
Yeah, literally yesterday, that video from Chicago of like that food delivery guy running away from ICE or whatever goes viral. I literally sent it to Garrett. I was like, this is one battle after another. Like this shit.
Well, and look,
happening.
The problems of yesterday are the problems of today. He started writing this during the Bush administration. So like the first Bush administration, that's how long ago this has been like in the works. And so I think like, yeah, I just think it's so interesting sort of that he's able to pinpoint kind of what we're dealing with, even though they started writing it. But I will say, and he said in several interviews, like they sort of wrote a lot of this on the day too. Like all the Del Toro stuff was written kind of by Del Toro after a dinner meeting, and they sort of
that he came up with that. That's like the linchpin of the second act.
Yeah, I've had a few small beers.
Also like they call out in the movie that like 16 years go by and the world is still the same. Like, damn, that's oops. Ouch. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I we can talk. I mean, we're 50 minutes into this podcast. We probably just talk about the rest of the movie and spoil it. But you kept mentioning that you want to talk about sort of the ending and how this wraps up and stuff.
So first of all, when she is captured and she's at that house, and the way that it's shot, the way that she sits on the bench, the way that it's shot, it literally when she finally like goes back, gets the car keys, and makes her way back to the car. The shot where we're tracking and she's getting back into the car, and we kind of like pump the shot and fake the shot, and then like we're on the driver's side with her before her big drive. My mind was already blown with that camera movement, and that was before we even got back on the road. Obviously, people are like, you've seen, if you have eyes and you've been on the internet, you've seen the still shots of the basically like a long winding road with all these hills. So basically, the way that we shoot the final shot is we are going into the hills with her. So as we're going down into the hills, like your camera view is obstructed by the hill, and then you pop back up, and so you're kind of feel like you're on a roller coaster.
It's almost like they
mounted
a camera on like the front grille of a car.
Yeah, that's what
like
it felt
really
like.
Low.
Yeah, so super low. And so as she's going through dips, you're going through dips, and you're going through the highs. And basically she realizes that she's being chased. She doesn't really know who's chasing her. And then we also see that Leo is chasing the two of them. So now we're all three of us are on this road again. No idea how we all got on this road because they were all at three separate locations. They end up on the same road. We don't really know how, but they're all following each other.
It's all one road, T.
It's all one.
Always has been.
Always has been. So they're doing a chase, and all of a sudden she realizes, Chase Infinity's character, that if she goes right above the dip line, if she parks her car right above the dip line and sits over to the side of the road with a gun, he's going to crash his car into her car. So you kind of see, she generates the idea, and then the next thing you see is the guy who's chasing her, who's like I guess he's like the Mr. Wolf for the Christian.
Yeah, he's
for
like
the Christmas club. He's the fixer. Yeah, basically. So he pops back up. He crashes into her car. He's disoriented, and then there's like a Gil Scott-Heron. I mean, this movie is the coolest movie you've ever seen for so many reasons. There's a Gil Scott-Heron song where basically Leo and all the French 75ers have this song where if you give them lyrics from this song, they have to recite the lyrics to you to tell you that they're friendly. So she does the first part of this song, and of course this random white dude has no idea what's happening. He doesn't know who Gil Scott-Heron is. He's fucking dead meat. And as soon as she realizes that he doesn't know who he is, she just immediately murders him. And so now she first of all, we've already know she's good with the gun because we've seen her shooting, and but you never see a scene where Leo is the one teaching her how to shoot. These are black women teaching her how to shoot. There are black women out there with her, teaching her all this revolutionary shit that is going to eventually save her life. And then Leo kind of bumbles into the scene. He's got to say the words to her. He's shaken up. We have this incredible moment where she realizes she's now safe, but she did it herself. Leo was not the one who killed the guy. She's the one who killed the guy. Then Leo showed up afterwards and then takes her away.
It's a great scene because she's like, "Who are you?" Like to Leo, who has raised this. We should spoil it. There's a lot of, as Paul Thomas Anderson is known to do, a lot of like sexual. What's the word I'm looking for? Power dynamics going on in this movie. Mm-hmm. The use of sex and how one wields it, and of course, there's a pretty interesting link up between Sean Penn's character and Tiana Taylor's character at the very beginning of the movie, because he basically it stops her, is allowing her to do all of her anarchist shit, but he's getting, he's obsessed with this woman. So there's a sexual power dynamic going on there. Long story short, we find out that Sean Penn is the father of what is her name
Willa.
in this? Willa.
And / Willa.
Yeah, Charlene. I was just saying, everybody has two names. So
I knew before because when we have the scene, so this is this is the fucking level of movie making that PTA is doing in this film. There's a scene where she needs something from him. Perfidia Beverly Hills needs something from Sean Penn's character because she gets caught. There's this very harrowing scene where they're doing this bank robbery, but then it goes bad and they all have to run and she gets caught. So now she wants help from him because he's like a military person. He has government ties and he's government contacts. So she needs his help. So she meets up with him, and it's implied that they're meeting up as like a exchange. Like we're gonna have sex, and I'm gonna help you get free. Well, they don't show them having sex. They show them in the room together, and then all of a sudden, the next cut is to her pregnant belly. So, and when I was in the movie theater, I was like, "That's a hard cut to her pregnant belly." I know that we're gonna have this kid come in this movie, but whose kid is the kid? We don't know whose kid it is, and of course, it's like you don't know whose kid it is, and then you realize the parentage of that kid is kind of the driving force of the movie. It's exactly why Sean Penn's character is coming after her and sending all these people after her, is because he needs to get into this Christian club, this Christmas club, Christmas activities, whatever whatever that shit is called.
Hail
Christmas
Saint
Adventures
Nick.
Club. But they have a very great scene where they're asking him basically all these questions. And one of the things they ask him is, have you ever had interracial relationships? And he says no. Obviously, he has a half black daughter out there. So this gets back to the club. And now they are basically hunting him while he is hunting our protagonist's daughter, because he needs to get rid of this evidence that he has a child out there who is half black. That's kind of the setup of the movie. So obviously she learns through this harrowing experience. We have a very cool scene where they do a pregnancy test, but not like a pregnancy test like you've ever seen before. There's some random weird ass contraption machine
In a black box
that is like a machine that's going to tell you the parentage, but only after we've had a significant amount of wait time, so we can have a conversation between the two of them that's very tense. It's just all around, like, these are just great decisions to keep the plot going. So her parentage, when she finally sees Leo at the end, when she kills her father, she's distraught because number one, she never killed someone, but also two, she's killed her dad. Like, she didn't know it was her dad, but now she knows.
She didn't kill him.
She did kill him.
No.
Oh, well, that's true. You think
Not
that
her dad, yeah.
you think that she kills him, but after the scene is over, he gets up and walks off. And so then the next time you show him, his face is fucked up because he got shot.
No,
but
the
he's
other
not
guy
dead.
shot him.
The fixer shoots him. He falls off the road. She shoots.
Oh, that's right.
the fixer.
Sorry. She kills the fixer. The fixer shoots him off the road, like shotgun blasts him while they're on the road, which is a very fucking cool scene in itself. He shotgun blasts the shit out of him, like right next to him, and then drives off.
Never roll your window down for somebody that like speeds up next to you. Don't ever do
Yeah,
that.
The
you're on this
stranger is
one
like,
lane
roll your
road.
window down. Like, why are you doing that?
Fucking Mustang out of nowhere pulls up on you, asks you to roll your window down.
No.
This cannot be good, actually.
Well, guys, it's not like he's like an important person or like in the military or anything. So it's not like
Right.
he would have
Yeah.
like enemies.
He's not
So,
doing anything
you know.
shady or illegal at all. He's a totally normal guy doing totally normal things. So totally normal things will happen to him. But yeah, I have a question about Willa and Bob and the parentage. Do you think she told him?
That is actually a good question, but I don't think Bob, it matters to Bob.
Fair.
Because they do a really interesting thing where Leo only talks to Sean Penn once. And it's in a really weird, harrowing scene in a grocery store where Sean Penn, who's like 3 feet shorter than Leonardo DiCaprio, like comes in and is like
the guy. Yeah, you got sick thoughts. I got more of them.
Yeah. Yeah, and like he's like they have this really harrowing scene, and like you can see on Leo's face that he kind of knows that something's up, but then they never meet again. But then he goes on for 16 years to raise this daughter like it's his own, because to him it is. And it is kind of interesting that, like, yeah, they don't address it at the very end, and she doesn't tell him. But that's why I think that scene is really powerful at the very end of the movie, because she's screaming at him like, "Who are you? Like I don't know who you are," because all of a sudden her world's turned upside down, because everything that she has known for the past 16 years is now different. She's killed a guy, and like
killed a guy.
Yeah, she's killed a guy, and now all of a sudden it's
body.
Yeah, everything's upside down, as is maybe a metaphor for teenagers coming into adulthood, whether you want to or not. You're thrust into it, and so it in a more dramatic and harrowing way, obviously. But I found that scene at the very end of the movie where he's like, I'm your dad. Like I thought it was great.
And like I should have been paying closer attention to this while I was in the theater, but did she stop calling him Bob after that, or did she? Because like it feels like
I don't know.
probably would have started calling him Dad at that point, but I
Yeah,
don't
she's
remember
called him
actually.
Bob the entire. I
Literally
don't
the
know,
whole
Bob.
movie.
That's that white side.
I tell you, I have never once called my dad Ben. I've never done what. No, so I think I do love, again, going back, and we can wrap up, but like going back to the dumb dad character and Paul Thomas Anderson asserting the Leo character in that, and then he's trying to be woke, and he's trying to be not he's trying to be liberal, and maybe even his liberal politics are not matched are not matched by what's going on in the world now.
Yeah,
And
he doesn't understand the gender pronoun thing.
Yeah,
he
it's
uses
they.
the,
It's not that
he
hard.
uses the R word still. Like,
Yeah.
he's woke, but he's not like all the way woke.
Right. For somebody that was like a literal revolutionary that was like blowing up banks, he still is like having trouble with was like, I just want to be not be rude to your friends.
I also love how he's like he wants her to be like defend herself, so he's like, yeah, good job defending yourself, but like
You should
with her is so
you
good.
should call me out on my shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, him being the Carl Benicio del Toro, he's like, I don't get mad about anything anymore. I was like, damn.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
really
that one
is
hit.
a washed revolutionary.
Don't go dark on me, Bob. I'm not. I just the whole road trip movie with them we haven't really even touched on that enough, but I think that whole dynamic is awesome. And then what was the final thing?
We didn't mention it directly, but like he gets the Sean Penn character gets killed, and as soon as they like showed him his new
right.
office, I was like, oh yeah, he's dead. Like they're definitely going to kill
Yeah,
him.
as soon as they were like walking him through this like empty ass office building, they're like, "This is your home away from home." I'm like, there's nobody else here though. Like,
There's literally no one in here.
You're gonna die, buddy.
He's like, it's great makeup, but he's like mangled all of a sudden, like his lips are all messed up, and like, and he's the whole I was raped in reverse thing is just unbelievable. Like,
I would be so fucking pissed if I realized that I like survived getting shot in the face and like falling off a cliff in a car and all that other shit, and then like they got me with some fucking gas in a fucking office building, man.
Waking up in hell, being like, how did that happen?
As soon as he like looked up and like he heard the gas coming in, brother just resigned himself to it. He was like, "Fuck, they got me."
Yeah, no, I find this movie. I'm gonna go back to this movie several times. Especially, this might be one that Criterion. You better issue a collection of this, because I really love this movie. I thought it was I think it's one of the best movies of the year. As far as like,
I also think that.
Yeah. As far as the best movie, I don't know. I think it'll be, with the star power that's backing this, like, I think it's going to be a knockdown, drag out fight between this and Sinners going forward. Like, what's going to really actually come away with it? Unfortunately for like Michael B. Jordan and them, like Leonardo DiCaprio is going on podcasts and shit. Like, he's like,
Leonardo DiCaprio is a working man now.
Yeah. So when folks want to be in a room, they're going to want to be in a room with Leonardo DiCaprio, like,
yeah. If there were actually two Michael B. Jordans, then we'd be talking about something different. But
yeah, the game is the game when it comes to that, I guess. But
yeah, I think I prefer Sinners to this movie. It's not like it's some like blowout or whatever, and I'm like, this movie fucking sucks. Sinners is the only good movie I've seen this year. Fuck you. It's like, no, I think both these movies are great. I think Sinners is a little greater, at least for me personally. I think a lot of the people who I've heard like really, really love this movie are bigger PTA fans than I am, just in terms of like they just know more of his story and his movies. like I said, I didn't know that he was married to Maya Rudolph until after I saw this movie. So
Hmm.
like, having that kind of knowledge, I'm
For
sure
like a
shakes it
long
up.
time. They've been together for
Yeah.
like just kind
I
of
just
random.
never heard that. Like I just
Yeah.
never even once considered like who Maya Rudolph might be married to. Like just never.
Like they were married when she was like on SNL.
Yeah.
That's crazy. What do you mean? Like
Yeah, just never. I just never thought about that. There's not two people I ever thought of in the same like spaces, but they good for them. But yeah,
I
I'm
can't
not.
believe I knew that. And like other people didn't know that because I'm not really like I don't.
Just
I'll be
doesn't come
late to
up.
that stuff, but I did know that.
it's like Kristen Wiig's married to Damien Chazelle. It's like what?
What?
Yeah. When did that happen?
I I was talking to somebody the other day randomly because like a Keith Urban song came on, and I was like, I don't know any Keith Urban songs. I just think of him as Nicole Kidman's husband.
Not
But
no more.
R.I.P.
Whoops.
Oopsies.
Yeah. Somebody said, man, it's almost like her doing older woman that gets in a sexual relationship with a younger men movies like 5 in a row. Maybe that there was writing on the wall there.
Yeah, just kissing other people on the mouth at the Oscars.
Yeah. Kissing Sarsgaard on the lips in front of everybody. Yeah, I also saw a tweet years ago that apologies to Sean Penn, but it's the funniest thing that I've ever seen in my entire life. That he was like, Sean Penn looks like a cigarette.
Oh shit! God damn.
Our homie Neezus here in the chat said the picture of him with the cast is so funny. He looks like soot.
He looks
That's
crazy in
really
that photo,
fucking
man.
funny.
He looks crazy in that photo.
What the fuck happened to you? Like everybody else, like looks relatively normal. Like what were you doing today?
Yeah, like Leo smokes. Like Leo's been a smoker from way back. He doesn't look like that. Man, it's crazy. Anyway, sun damage will really do it to you. Wear sunscreen, folks, as I say as I start to look like an old shoe. But yeah, all right. We can talk about this movie, I feel like, forever. But
Real cinema.
cinema. Go watch it.
I do want to go do a little bit of Oscar stuff. Obviously,
Yeah.
we think it's gonna be nominated for Best Picture. That's a given. That's a layup.
Easily. Sean Penn
Real
nominated
quick,
for sure.
you know what's funny is that like this hasn't been in any discourse yet. For a
It will
movie,
be.
it will
crazy.
be. But for a movie like this, like it's like, and once it starts picking up this is why I wanted to say this, teacher. Once it starts picking up the Oscars buzz, which people will decry that they don't watch the Oscars anymore, but then like once it gets nominated for 10 Oscars, they're gonna be like, woke political trash is getting nominated for Oscars again. But
well, to be fair, they're also going to say that about Sinners, so they're really
right.
Like, they're going to have to pick and fight their battle.
It's gonna tie them in a pretzel.
One battle after another, Teach. Yeah, we're definitely gonna in like 3 months get the Dave Portnoy tweet that's like that was so overrated. Oh my god,
that movie sucks. I don't know why everybody. Thanks, man. Really came to you for bracing movie opinions.
Go take another bite of pizza, bitch.
Yeah. So yeah. So do your Oscars conversation. Sorry.
Yeah, we've already talked about Sean Penn. I do think that there's a very strong chance that you're going to see one of or both of Tiana and Chase Infinity running in Best Supporting Actress. I think that Del Toro will be in the conversation for Best Supporting as well. All the below the line stuff. Well, first of all, Best Director, PTA. I mean, they're just waiting to have a PTA moment at the Oscars, so he's going to be nominated for Best Director. I think we got a chance in score here. I think we have a chance to put up Oppenheimer-like numbers in terms of nominations, and it's always a kind of a crapshoot of what actually wins. Sinners is going to be heavily nominated, but my hot take is that I don't know what's going to win Best Picture, but I do think that One Battle After Another is going to have more nominations than Sinners. Unfortunately, I think that's true. I love them both, but I think this is going to have more nominations than Sinners.
Well, like Sinners is like Sinners, for as much as we loved it, and it's like it kind of redefined, quite frankly, like redefined what a blockbuster can be in this generation. Like that's not, I don't say that lightly. Like I really think that's true. It is that if you want to break it down to its core components, it's a vampire hunter movie. Like it's way more than that, obviously, but it's more accessible in that way. But are the, especially with the uh, European contingent that we have in the Oscars voting now, it, people are probably going to like go gaga over Paul Thomas Anderson cinema as opposed to the latter. That's just my opinion. I think.
I think so. I think that's where we're headed.
Yeah, I mean, now will it get like when we see like there's no visual effects obviously, so it's not going to have anything like that. But cinematography, score, stuff like that. TG said you were obsessed with the score in this, and I would tend to agree. I think what was his most nominated film? There Will Be Blood.
There Will Be Blood, I'm sure.
Yeah, so like let's just real quick look at what that movie, which is it's basically in the Library of Congress already,
which is real fucking cinema and one of the greatest performances we've ever seen at the center of a movie.
One, two, three, four.
Apparently,
five, six,
speaking
seven,
of that,
8.
apparently the new Daniel Day-Lewis movie is about a man who abandons his child. He abandons his boy.
Abandoned my child. I've abandoned my boy. Give me the blood, Lord.
The scene with Leto, where Leto basically he realized like Leto was going to baptize him and bring him back in the good graces.
No, it's our guy, the Riddler. It's
wait, is it? No, not Leto. Sorry,
it's Paul Dano.
Yeah. Paul Dano, yeah. When Dano is basically gonna embarrass him in front of the church, he's like slapping
him around.
That's some of the best shit you will ever see.
It's like it's unbelievable. That movie was nominated for 8 Oscars and it won 2.
This one's going to be nominated for 10 Oscars, which I think is the Oppenheimer number. I think that's the number.
Yeah,
I think
I think it was 10 or 11.
I think it was 10.
But I think it won like 6 or 7. Will this do that, or will it be like a runaway Oppenheimer thing? I don't know, but we just have to see what else gets nominated. Like the reason we haven't done a lot of stuff on this podcast, 1, because football started, but 2, because like just movies haven't come out yet. They're really delaying like the big time releases that are going to be nominated. They're back to doing that bullshit, which we used to get over the past couple of years. We've gotten like big movies that have sort of run the table, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Oppenheimer, the like, have come out during the summer, and they've started releasing these movies earlier and earlier. But now it's like back to like we're back ending all these are all coming out in like.
Are you forgetting that The Conjuring 4 came out and made about $90 bajillion?
My God, dude, I was not ready for that.
Mid as fuck, but they made all the money. I went a week after it came out, and my theater was packed deep, bro.
I haven't seen one of those movies since the first one.
I haven't seen video, and like they don't really come up like that. So I didn't know that people like I said, I sit by the water cooler at work, so like I get all the actual water cooler conversation. Conjuring movies have never come up even once, so like I just had no idea.
It felt like the middle two were like straight to DVD shit, and then they've also
they've got a million spinoffs.
Yeah, they got all these like spinoffs. Annabelle and like The Nun and all this. Like the first one was like a really like sort of harrowing.
The second one's also really good. The third one's okay. The fourth one is the most mid thing you've ever seen, but it made the most money because people
made $435 million. What?
Insane, bro! Insane
on a $55 million. That's crazy. Those dudes are rolling in it. Yeah. So we'll just have to see what happens when this comes out, and if it will get sucked up into the political discourse. It will, and how much money it'll end up making. Like I don't care that Warner Brothers gave Paul Thomas Anderson that amount of money. You should be doing that. And I also don't care if they lose money. So they've changed HBO Max like 18 billion times. I don't care about their business practices, but I'll be just interested to see if it like say it makes $300 million. Like hell yeah, like that's good for us, you know what I mean? So, but stuff like this, like that has gone like this, Killers of the Flower Moon being a big one, where they gave this celebrated director $150 million to make a movie, and then it didn't. Like, also starring Leonardo DiCaprio, but yeah, I'm just interested to see how that will play out as well too. What are we watching? I know that we've seen some stuff.
Yeah. Did we talk about Caught Stealing on here?
You told me not to. We were gonna do it, and then you told me not to watch it, so I didn't.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was fine. It was.
Teach that don't watch that bullshit. If I
You
remember.
can wait for it to come out on streaming. It's not something you got to see in the biggest theater possible or whatever. But Austin Butler is still cool guy. He's not. It's not Dune 2 Austin Butler, but it's still pretty cool guy. Fairly mid. A lot of like just random gunshots happen, and that's supposed to be like a shock. Oh no, that person died! Wow. So your mileage may vary, but it's not bad. So yeah, I saw that, and I didn't hate it. I saw shit. What was the other thing that I saw? Come back to me.
I saw him, guys.
Oh, that was the other
fucking
thing.
movie ever, bro.
That was the other thing I saw.
That
I
movie
couldn't
is
think
a
the fucking
piece
name
of
it.
shit, bro. Oh my god.
Go.
I went 10 days after everybody on the internet was shitting on it. So I expected it to be a piece of shit. And it was somehow worse than I thought it was going to be. It is a cool looking movie. There's a couple shots
beautiful gowns
that will blow you away, but substantively, there's no substance whatsoever to this movie. It makes no sense. Most of the movie, our protagonist is in his hero's house. His hero is obviously fucking crazy. Obviously has a lot of shit going on with him, and he never once tries to leave this fucking house. Not even one time does he try to leave this fucking house. At 20 points in this movie, I was like, well, I would probably leave this house. They start the movie off telling you this guy's him. He has what it takes to be the next greatest quarterback of all time. Then he gets bludgeoned randomly by some weird-looking dude.
A fucking pom-pom monster.
50 minutes later, the pom-pom monster returns and bludgeons him again. But the second time it happens, it's fake. But the first time it happens, it's literal. Like it actually happened.
Yeah, that's the part of the movie that fuck with me the most. It's just like,
is this the Caleb Williams story?
What's happening and what's not happening? And it's not one of those.
You literally cannot tell what's real and what's fake, and it doesn't resolve it. Even the final scene of the movie, you're like, so did he actually murder the owner of this team, or did he not murder the owner of this team? I have no idea.
The big bloody final sequence of the movie. I looked over at the person I was there with, and I said, "What's happening? What is this? Like, what's going on?"
There's a moment that's in the trailer where they put a guy against the machine that throws the ball to the receivers.
Jugs machine.
They put a guy in front of the jugs machine and it's hitting him. And he's getting bloody. Right? Cool concept. He's got to focus and he's got to make these throws so that they take the guy away from the jugs machine. But after this scene, the guy just kind of crumples and starts having a seizure, and they do a huddle over his dead body, and then it never comes up again. I don't know if he actually died or was he even actually there.
So the guy that was in front of the jugs machine is just like, "We got him, coach." Like, like he fell for it or whatever. The guy who has a seizure or whatever, the quarterback guy headbutted him. And so he just died, I guess, or maybe he didn't, or maybe they didn't happen at all. I don't know.
He never thought to call the cops. He never thought to anyone. There's literally a moment in this movie where they ask, it's his mother's birthday, so he's got to sneak on the phone and call his mom. And he comes back and they're like, "What were you doing on the phone?" He was like, "Sorry, it was my mom's birthday." And he says, "You didn't tell them that I wasn't going to be able to have my phone?" I guess he expected these random people at this house to tell his mother, his actual mother, that he wasn't going to have access to his phone. This whole movie does not make sense, bro. It is a goddamn mess.
The whole thing is that
Jordan Peele fraud,
Julia Fox
fraud?
or whatever. Jordan Peele fraud. They saying, listen,
we're not doing that.
Listen, bros. Jordan Peele could not get his hands on weapons, and weapons is fucking phenomenal. He got his hands on him. Him fucking sucks. I'm just saying.
He just saw a movie that he could sell on behalf of his production company, and he was right. Because this movie, when you watch it, it's clear you can make a kick-ass fucking trailer out of this movie, but you cannot make a movie out of this movie. There's no movie in this movie. It is not a movie, but as a trailer, it fucking rocks. But as a movie, the whole plot doesn't make sense. There's nothing wrong with these actors. It's not their fault that this movie stinks. The way that the movie is written is nonsensical. And I will also point out that this is the worst dialogue you've heard in a film in your fucking life. It felt like from line to line, I was literally sitting there reading the script of, oh, now you're supposed to talk. Now you're supposed to talk. I got to say this thing so you can say your next thing. And it was one of the worst made movies I've ever seen. But it looks really cool.
It looks so fucking sick, actually.
Insane.
Like, there's so many cool shots in this movie. And like some of the needle drops in there just go so fucking hard. So it sucks that the movie is totally nonsensical.
By the way, we didn't even mention Mo Bamba being in a PTA movie.
Oh
like
yeah,
the song. That's crazy.
That felt like what? How do you do, fellow kids? What are you playing at your?
Yeah,
he literally had to ask his
daughters.
daughters.
Flower age.
Yeah. It's like that and Shut Up and Dance with Me, which like plays at every wedding now, including mine. Yeah. But like I
gotta say I literally texted y'all in the group chat like as it was happening. The Steely Dan needle drop in here, like when you first meet Chase Infinity, I was like, "Ooh, that's good. That's really stuff."
Good. The American Girl needle drop, that's shit. That's the goods. That's the fucking goods, man.
Yeah. So I had a friend watch him. He goes to see every horror movie, and he said, what did you think of him? And I was like, I didn't see that shit. And he was like, yeah, because it was weird. They tried to do like I thought it was going to be a CTE movie, and then they just completely go away from that.
They literally just it's probably clear that the Marlon Wayans character, he's got super CTE, bro. He's doing stuff that makes no sense.
They couldn't decide if they wanted to do a CTE movie or if they want to do a TB12 movie or
Billionaires Are Bad, right?
Yeah, like they
or if they want to do like a religious movie, because one of the first things you see is that the team that Marlon Wayans' character plays for is called the San Antonio Saviors, and that is the moment where we realize, oh, we're about to be on some bullshit in this movie. And this is about to be some big absolute bullshit, bro.
God, man, that sounds awful. I'm glad I didn't. It made $21 million on a $25 million budget. Jordan Peele.
Watched.
Yeah, man, you should have gotten weapons. Let me tell you, you were right to fire your.
Y'all couldn't get weapons, but y'all bought him.
Yeah, you were right to fire your representation.
Could not be different in terms of quality of those two films. Could not be more of a stark difference in terms of quality.
It's like all those memes about like when your Instacart shopper's a man. Like you asked for weapons and they got you him as a replacement.
Yeah. I'd be pissed too. New movies that I've seen. K-pop Demon Hunters, that shit rocks. By the way,
actually
rocks,
good.
Bro.
Apparently, I haven't watched it.
It's really good.
I need to tap in.
I would say it's going to be nominated for like best animated feature. It's so fun.
It sounds like it's going to fucking win. Actually,
yeah, it might. But Netflix, you did it with that one. The songs are just fire in that. They're playing on the radio actually, and it's not a real band.
Have the K-pop Demon Hunters perform at the Oscars?
They should, because it's going to be nominated for best original song. Like, what else is going to come out that's besides that one lady who puts in a song every single year? But
yeah,
but yeah. So
I think there's like one new song in Wicked or something like that. But
yeah. Shout out to Caitlin for getting me to watch that, because I was like, what is this? And then we watched it and I was blown away. It was so fun.
It's really good.
I also watched the Long Walk.
I've seen that too.
Which I kind of think
is that any good?
I sort of think
pretty
it's
good.
one of the better movies of 2025.
I enjoyed it a lot.
Really liked it.
And there's no way it should be good, because it's quite literally just people walking. Like I thought there was some supernatural element because it's a Stephen King book. And so I just assumed there was a supernatural element, but there really isn't. It's just people walking and people getting shot, just like the trailer shows you. But it is the performances are so good that you never get bored. It's not an easy watch because it is harrowing.
Oh my god! Jesus Christ, people are like shitting themselves and getting shot. It's terrifying. It's like I gotta shit.
The ending I did not love, but I was
Yeah.
never bored and I had a very good time with it.
I like the ending because like you kind of read into it and you're like, I get it. And they definitely changed the ending of the book. But speaking of Paul Thomas Anderson, Cooper Hoffman, he's got his dad.
Yeah, that guy's got a future, man. He's really good in this movie.
Yeah, Cooper Hoffman.
We already
David
know David
Johnson.
Johnson's good, but he's good in everything. But the Hoffman kid, be on the lookout for him. I thought he was incredible, and I can't wait to see him in more stuff.
I kind of think that David Johnson's just going to win an Academy Award one day, and
I'm
putting in stock in that early.
I felt the same way walking out of the theater. I was like, "Oh, this guy's got it all. Like he's got the full range of emotional acting. He was funny in the movie. Like he can do a lot of things." I also think that we really got to watch out for Chase Infinity as our young starlet search. Because let me tell you whose inbox is about to be full. Chase Infinity is about to get so much work out here, and she's light skinned. She's about to get all of the fucking work out here, bro.
And she's online, like she's
putting Leonardo DiCaprio and TikToks and shit. Like,
yeah, bro.
Yeah,
like
she's about to get a lot of work.
Those follower requirements, she's gonna hit all those. Like,
yeah, getting people in your movies that have so many Instagram followers. But yeah, I thought The Long Walk was great. And apparently Cooper Hoffman and David Johnson are just going to be in like a buddy cop movie or a buddy road trip movie together down the line for A24. Cooper Hoffman and David Johnson are going to be in
they're going to be together again?
Yeah, in an A24 buddy road trip movie.
I did not know that. I love that. I thought they had such great chemistry together. I love that.
Yeah, so they have said that they want to work together more, and so they're getting the opportunity to do that pretty quick. Dex, I watched your favorite movie, the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
Look, man, the kids got it. I know we're on a bit of a rocky trajectory. The woke mob is trying to cancel her or whatever. But the kids got it. All right, she's going places.
The Lumineers present the Hunger Games.
Love me a good stomp clap, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I watched a bunch of older movies. I watched RoboCop for the first time because they did it on the rewatchables, and yeah, that movie's fun. Like it's so stupid, but like it's really good. Then I watched I watched some what do you call it? Tom Hanks movies, Apollo 13, Road to Perdition. I rewatched Wanted because it was on cable the other day. Y'all remember Wanted from 2008?
Angelina Jolie?
Yeah.
Is that the one where they like curve bullets and shit?
It is the exact same. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Kind of a hell yeah, brother. Not a good movie, but also kind of like hell yeah.
Angelina Jolie just did that for like 20 years. Like she won her Oscar and then was just like, you know what? Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was on Netflix. It was like one of those shitball action films from Gerard Butler. It's called Kandahar, where he's like a CIA operative, I think.
That man loves a one-word movie title.
Yep. Directed by Rick Roman Waugh, who did like Shot Caller and Greenland and a bunch of like really interesting action films. But he just does those for a living, and yeah, that was the most 2.5-star movie that I've ever watched in my entire life. So yeah, that a bunch of other stuff.
What did you think of Was it your first time watching Magnolia?
I'm halfway through it.
What are you thinking so far? Because first of all, Magnolia has one of the most batshit insane endings ever. So I don't want to talk about that. But what are your thoughts so far about this film?
I'm uncomfortable.
Like weapons energy.
I'm uncomfortable.
I'm uncomfortable. That's kind of the design. That's kind of my design.
I kind of think.
What's it on?
I had to rent it. It's like half of his. I tweeted the other day. Half of his movies are on
it's
like
nasty. You can't even fucking get Buggy Nights out there, bro.
And Hoopla. It's on a service called Hoopla, which you can only get. You should get a library card, but you can only get it with a library card. Like you can only get it with a library. It's like, and then I got a library. I renewed my library card the other day because I was like, I want to watch There Will Be Blood, and my library just doesn't have access to the movies on Hoopla. So,
that's tough.
What? Yeah, like cool, man. But yeah, so half of his movies you either have to rent or like own. Which I probably should own There Will Be Blood and stuff like that, but yeah, I had to rent. It was only like $2. Magnolia was. It was on Paramount forever, and then now I just rented it on Amazon for like $2. But it is, yeah, I'm uncomfortable, man, and I don't know where it's going. But I do think Paul Thomas Anderson really hit the nail on the head early on with the red pill incel culture Tom Cruise thing that he has going on. It's unbelievable. Yeah, he kind of just predicted that pretty nail on the head with that one.
Some people say that is the greatest Tom Cruise performance of all time. I will not go that far.
That
it is really good though.
You can see the exact moment when like Paul Thomas Anderson captured him at his weirdest, and it was like right when Tom Cruise was going through like a public divorce and like the Katie Holmes like couch stomping thing and like going crazy on Oprah and like doing weird 60 minutes interviews. Paul Thomas Anderson's like, need him in my movie, and he captures it. Like Tom Cruise doesn't do things like this anymore.
It's perfect because Magnolia is a weird fucking movie. Like the good, the bad, the ugly. It is a very, very weird, extremely weird fucking movie.
It's also like front line and center of like conspiracy theories too, of like the things just don't happen for a reason. You know what I mean? Like he's all over that in this movie. It's just like the first 10 minutes of it. He's like, oh, I'm interested to see where it goes. He directly cribs our good boy weapons director directly cribs the cop character from John C. Reilly in Magnolia. It's unbelievable that he just copies it. And
the whole John C. Reilly part of Magnolia is just the weirdest fucking thing ever. I can't wait for you to finish it. We already mentioned I saw Demon Slayer. I also saw the new Conjuring movie. It was mid. Demon Slayer. Listen, I went to Demon Slayer. I was ready to hate on you anime nerds because I'm not an anime person. Although I have seen a lot of Naruto, so I know, I understand anime, or at least I've seen enough anime to kind of get the point, get the gist. I didn't know shit about Demon Hunter. I didn't want to know shit about Demon Hunter. I watched the pilot episode of Demon Hunter, and I was like, oh, that's fine. That's not so bad. The Demon Hunter fucking movie, or Demon Slayer, I'm going to get confused with the Netflix one. The Demon Slayer movie fucking rocks, man. I didn't know anything about anything. I had an amazing time. I had a great time. I understand why they're making $1 bajillion.
Isn't that the second one that has come out in theaters recently?
This is the third. I think the third one that has come out in theaters, but there's going to be 2 more as a continuation of this storyline that's explored in this movie. And I'm going to watch those movies. I literally sat down expecting to be bored, and I went to a late movie. It was like 10:15 on a Tuesday night. I'm like, I'm going to be fucking sleepy. And I was locked into that shit. I was forced to go by Monique because I took her to the latest Fast and the Furious movie and the latest Mission Impossible movie. They're both stuck. So she's also going to make me watch the third Avatar movie. Oh, I still haven't even seen the second Avatar movie.
Oh, so brother.
I cannot. Let me tell you, I can wait for that to come out.
I sure can wait.
So yeah, for those that don't know, the Demon Slayer movie, I think the first one that came out in theaters was quietly like the biggest box office success of the pandemic.
That's insane, bro.
It doesn't surprise me, actually.
It was like came out 2021, and when theaters were shuttering, it was like Demon Slayer was saving AMCs across the country, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, anything else?
The anime nerds were all real deep, man.
Right. They were deep as shit in my theater, boy. It was deep in there.
Man, did it smell crazy in there?
No, it actually did not smell crazy. I went in there ready to smell anything that smelled crazy so I could report it out, but nobody smelled crazy. Thank God everybody had their hygiene in order. Thank God.
All right. So you can find us at a One Take Podcast, One Take Podcast on Twitter, Instagram, the like. Go follow us on Twitter, rate, download, subscribe, review. I'll try to have this up pretty quickly. So, I mean, if you got this far in a YouTube review for it and hadn't seen One Battle After Another, thanks. But yeah,
if you haven't seen it, go see it again.
Yeah, go see One Battle After Another. Give good movies their business. I don't know what the next thing we're going to be doing is. Wuthering Heights. Like I don't know what's happening with that.
Please,
but
no. Please.
Look, man, I didn't want to be excited for Wuthering Heights, but I am. I'm sorry.
Why?
I saw that trailer in Dolby and I was like, you know what?
I saw it in the theater the other day, and I was like, that Charlie XCX song was actually hitting for some reason.
It was hidden. Margot Robbie was looking fucking phenomenal, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah.
You said you were gonna be in there like Sean Penn. That's crazy.
Oh shit!
That's crazy. But I understand.
I haven't seen this trailer because I was late to the movie where they played in front of, so I didn't see the trailer. But this really just reminds y'all that Emerald Fennell is a fucking bum. She's a bum. She's
She
literally
sucks.
a bum.
She stinks. But look,
I might be in there.
If y'all gonna go see it, I'll go for
I'm ready to
Margot,
get
but
hurt
I'm
again.
expecting it to stink. I'm expecting
Fall
it
in
to
love
stink.
again. Yeah.
I'm ready to be hurt again. Margot Robbie.
What is coming out? Like, I mean, this was like the kind of big thing that I was really looking
I
forward
can't
to.
fucking
Tron?
avoid trailers for Tron Ares.
Yeah,
There's
I'm
every
pretty sure that film's
fucking where.
gonna
I'm like,
stink.
shut the fuck up.
I'm
the
pretty
Not
sure
more
there.
the Smashing Machine.
Oh, yeah.
I
That's
know
a good
people
one.
have seen that and they said it fucking bangs, so I will definitely be in there
Yeah,
for that.
that's probably if we can get in there. And like I said, football season has ruined our lives. So
I can tell you what I am for sure and not fucking seeing. Good Boy. No, thank you.
No, I'm in. I will be seeing that.
Absolutely not.
I'm in.
That trailer made me sad, and I hadn't even seen the movie.
I am super good on that, brother.
I don't like kill as many people as you want in movies. Kill a dog. How dare you?
Or you like make a
dog uncomfortable.
Watch like as you kill
Yeah.
people. No thanks.
Yeah, our guy in the chat says he can't wait for Avatar: Fire and Ash, which I'm like, okay.
I can wait.
Man.
Do we need 7 Avatar movies? I don't think we do.
I remember that last one coming out, and I was like, good movie, and then I haven't thought about it.
Because it doesn't matter.
didn't see the last
Like,
one.
it's
'Cause
just
it
not
doesn't matter.
important.
All right. So yeah, One Take Podcast. We'll try to get Smashing Machine on here.
One Avatar after another.
One Avatar. That's pretty good. All right, Dex. As always, what are we doing?
Hashtag support Florence Pugh. Hashtag Center's better.
Okay. All right, and we are. Let's see. We are.
Wait,
out.
don't do it yet.
Wait.
Did
What?
you click it?
No.
Listen, Hollywood. It's
Oh.
me again. It's Teach. Chase Infinity, Florence Pugh. Mother-daughter drama. Do it.
Mother
Just
daughter.
fucking do it.
They're
do
like
it.
Florence
6 years
Pugh's, yeah,
apart.
Florence Pugh's 30 years old.
Well, yeah, well, let's do it. Because they got Chase Infinity playing 16-year-olds anyway, bro. And let's just keep that going. She looks young as shit. Let's just make her 15 forever. Let's just do it. We need Florence Pugh. We need Chase Infinity. We need them both. We just need them. But I need to see this. Chase Infinity, I'm buying your stock early. I think that you are her, and I'm in the hive. I'm in. Totally.
Honestly, with Florence Pugh being British, I feel like it's really easy for them to like get real racist if they need to. So you could definitely make a movie where like Florence Pugh is just like obscenely racist to Chase Infinity for being mixed, and I'd watch.
And I watch.
God.
And I watch.
Real quick,
Meghan Markle type shit.
dude, the Shahan Jayaraja, who T. Jolliv had on the football podcast, but like he said I went to Europe and I found out about racisms that I didn't even know existed.
Yeah, dude, that was so funny. Sabrina Carpenter's like, oh, I talked to an Italian for 20 minutes. I learned so much, and it's like,
Yeah,
you can learn a lot of
we know
racism.
what you learned. We know what you
racismo.
learned.
you got some old school from way back.
Racismo.
The racismo.